OpenAI just released their 5 levels of AI intelligence. And I'm going to break down the 3 things you need to know about these levels and also why I think that OpenAI is not being 100% honest about their reason for releasing these. So first, let's just break down what these levels are. I think that's the first thing you need to know. And we're going to take a look at this story in Ars Technica, but this was originally broken in Bloomberg by Rachel Metz, who's a friend, somebody I've spoken to about AI in the past. So the levels are, level 1 is a chatbot, and that's basically ChatGPT. And that's sort of the beginning where they think that AI kind of started with this generative framework. The second is reasoners. So the idea here is that instead of just kind of predicting text responses, doing essentially completion tasks like ChatGPT does, that AI would advance to the point where it can make sort of logical inferences and follow human-like reasoning. And just calling it a reasoner is a little bit deceptive. This isn't the big thing that I think they're being deceptive about, by the way, but I think that's a little bit deceptive because really reasoning can include quite a high level of insight. So they're really looking at this as a PhD level reasoning, something that an advanced human would be able to do. The next is agents. So these are AI systems that can basically take an action on behalf of the user without the user's input. Maybe you could tell the AI, find any news story about me and write a summary of it. It would kind of just go out there and exist without you being there and do that work for you. Innovators, something that can actually create new ideas. This is interesting because, as we'll get to in a moment, it implies that they don't think that chatbots currently do that. And then finally, organizations, which is basically like an AI corporation. Imagine you took every role within an organization and AI could do each of those roles and would all sort of come together to create this totally automated unit. That's the 5th level. So that's the first thing you need to know is just what those levels are. The second thing, though, is where we are right now in this framework. And I think that's really interesting because what they're saying is we're basically at level 1. We have chatbots, and we're advancing now towards level 2, having reasoning. So that implies a couple of things. It implies that AI chatbots can't currently reason, which I think people aren't necessarily aware of. They think of them as intelligent tools that kind of come up with interesting information, that maybe even come up with innovative information. That's apparently way off. That's at level 4. So just knowing where we are now, according to OpenAI, and that's the crucial part, is basically at 1 and kind of advancing on 2. And so the third thing you need to know, and the one that I think is most interesting about this, is the broader context of it. So by kind of setting up this framework of levels and saying, we're all the way down here, it really feels like an attempt to minimize the problems that the world is facing with chatbots like ChatGPT. And I think the reason here is, they've gotten flack for problems like hallucinations, for issues with chatbots not being as intelligent. People are starting to sort of see that the sheen has worn off and that a lot of the stuff that ChatGPT creates is kind of generic. Obviously, there was some backlash against Google with their AI overviews. So the world is souring a little bit on the initial hype around AI. And this looks like an attempt to me by OpenAI, not so much to really set up this framework of, levels we're advancing through, but to subtly say, hey, if you think this isn't great, if you think ChatGPT is just okay, don't worry, we're just at the very beginning and we're going to move towards this higher level. Before, the rhetoric was very much, this is amazing, this is world changing, this is going to take over the world, maybe destroy the world, etc., which is all kind of hype and boosterism. Now, they're kind of walking it back and saying, nope, we're at this early stage, baby steps, level 1, there's still 4 more levels to go. Kind of reminds me of the move with self-driving, where we got very excited about self-driving cars 8 years ago, and now people are saying, no, it's just the very early stages, the early days, we've got a long runway to go. So to me, it feels less like a genuine attempt at establishing levels, more like maybe a little bit of an underhanded attempt by OpenAI to kind of put their product into context, to say, if you don't like it and there's problems with it, you're just at level 1 and don't worry, it's going to get a lot better. And obviously that also sets them up for the idea that in the future, the tech's going to get even better and you better invest in it now. You better support it now. And that kind of ties into rumors that maybe they're raising more money, maybe there's an IPO down the line, maybe they are going to shift to a for-profit model. It kind of lays the groundwork for, we didn't build our whole product and release it and this is all you're ever going to see from us. We're just at level 1. There's so much more runway, so much more opportunity. Get in now, invest now, and it's going to be this, amazing, organizational, innovative thing down the line. If you found this analysis helpful at all, please do subscribe to the channel, like the video, press that bell icon so you can get all of my AI news updates as soon as things happen.